Bet online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first to market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.
What is going on, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Believe in Bills podcast. Obviously, with the Believe Network, sponsored by those guys at Bet Online. Shout out to all those guys. Today, I got two legends with me, as always. To my bottom right down there, we got the Hall of Famer, Ruben Brown, in the building. We're going to be celebrating Ruben this weekend, so this is going to be really, really dope week. And we got a really great show for you guys. And, you know, and a part of that celebration, we got the other legend, of course, setting everything up, my man, Muki Hawkins, Coach Muki Hawkins, for those of you that don't know. So, I mean, he kind of knows what he's talking about when he's talking about football, but, you know, that's what it is. A little something, you know. But we got a good show for you guys today. Buffalo Bills. 4-game winning streak. They, caught the Jets in really, really bad weather. And it was a tough, gritty win against a tough, gritty team. You look at what Mike White did. I mean, honestly, I feel like his performance was special. He had a really good game. He took some really good bad hits and came back and was still performing. So, you know, tough, gritty team, tough, gritty win. Excuse the train in the background. Ruben, what did you think about the win overall? Do you think it was a good win?
I think it was a great win for the Bills. It's hard to win in the NFL, even if you're playing the statistically worst team.
He took some really good.
But I would say this. You know, the Bills went out and took care of business. You know, I think what the Bills have done early in the season has left us, you know, wanting more from them, you know, as a team. It's kind of like that scene in Harlem Nights when Della Reese go to the refrigerator and get the orange juice and Red Fox done left just a swig in there. Like you really got a taste for some, but then you ain't getting that full, you know, hit. You like, why you leave the swig in the bottle? You just go and throw the bottle out. But that's what the offense is like. You know, they're not giving us that full gulp. You want to go to the refrigerator and gulp down, you know, Buffalo Bills offense and tons of scores and the offense just going up and down the field. That hasn't happened because, you know, whatever wave that a team goes throughout the season. And but the core and the key to it is the Bills won, and the Bills are a team that knows how to beat any team, whether they're a bad team or a good team. And the Jets are actually a good team, and they got the potential to be in the playoffs. So our Bills beat a good team. We're just spoiled that we would like more points, but you know, by a larger margin or more dominating performance. But overall, they played well and strong and intimidating pretty much, I would say, because they commanded the whole game.
I mean, you take a look at it, and they're on a 4-game win streak. So, you know, I mean, it's not nothing, you know?
But we win 4-game winning streak. And
it's like 10-3. We played 13 games and lost 3 so far. I think it's safe to say you're doing okay. Mookie, what did you think of the win?
I think we're a little spoiled by how our Bills teams are supposed to win games. You know what I mean? Any type of win is a good win. This definitely was an ugly win. But when we play the Jets 9 times out of 10, it's always a tough win. You know what I mean? Last year was rather easy, but, you know, we knew what Robert Saleh is going to build and bring to this team, and he's done that over this season. And you see that the Jets are a legit contender with their defense. And Mike White, he's a savvy vet, and he went out there and proved that. But the Bills just took a while to get going offensively, and that's the major concern with this team. Offensively, why they're not putting up a barrage of points that they first started out doing. But we got, I guess, spoiled to that, and when it's not happening, then it seems like all hell's about to break loose. But again, around the same time last year, they were 7-6, and they're 10-3. So in the words of Aaron Rodgers, I guess we just need to relax and let things happen how they're supposed to happen. We know that the Bills are going to get back on track offensively at some point. They're still dealing with injuries, but again, they're still 10-3. So a tough, gritty win. I like the way that the Bills are playing, because in the playoffs, that's what you're going to need. You're going to have that tough, gritty mentality to pull out the tough games.
Absolutely. Looking at the win, it was a tough, gritty win. And looking at it, especially the last few weeks, the Buffalo Bills have been clearly made an emphasis on running the football. They've done it more and more. Last week, they didn't do it a ton, but I also another contributing factor is that they didn't get a ton of first downs, so they didn't have a ton of plays, to work with. Josh didn't throw the ball very much either. So I have to ask Ruben, do you think that there is currently balance in the offense?
No, and I think they're picking a real tough time they're really trying to find it. I was just talking with Jerry Ostrowski today, and he made something clear to me, which is a sign of an offensive coordinator that really does not really know the full scope of the team or their identity, or has created an identity. For example, the blocking schemes. And Jerry O pointed this out to me. I was saying it very generally, but he is saying the type of blocking schemes, like zone blocking schemes and like that, or, gap block schemes, traps and things like that. The Bills aren't committed to any of them. You know what I mean? They're not committed to a zone run scheme. They're not committed to trap block. They kind of throw a bunch of different types of runs in there, and then, passes and runs off. So the issue is the coordinator really knowing the identity of the offense, and mainly the offensive line. The offensive line can solidly pass block. We know that. They get in trouble with some high-profile pass rushes. But all in all, considering how many times they drop back and pass that ball, they lucky Josh ain't been murdered. And lucky that Josh actually can escape some of it, because, he's had pressure on him. He ain't been sitting clean in the pocket throwing his passes, but he's been given some extraordinary time. So I go back to what Jerry said. The offensive coordinator needs to commit to whether he wants his offensive line to block the run in a zone fashion or a gap man cut scheme. Which one do you want? Because then that would establish you an identity for the offensive line. Then they'll know, and our opponents will know, like, oh, these guys going to run the ISO all day, and you better be ready for it. Or, hey, they're going to hit that toss on you, and they're going to keep running that toss. See, that's the difference. One's a cut ISO downhill scheme. One's a zone run right, look for the hole, plant 1 foot in the ground and cut. These are all concepts that develop a running mentality. And I hope I didn't go too far in the weeds for y'all. And Muki knows exactly what the hell I'm saying. But you have to have an identity in the run game. And unfortunate, we've all noticed, and this has been our complaint, is the offensive coordinator's been happy with the success of the run game coming from Josh pretty much, and the runs that we've done just this past week, I think we did a few gap things. I think we ran like a zone. I guess it was a zone. But I couldn't sit here and tell you like, hey, this is straight up zone team like the old Denver Broncos with Terrell Davis, or this is like a man maybe cut slash scheme like what they did with Priest Holmes in Kansas City back in the day. I'm dating myself now, but that's what I'm trying to get to, like, get your brain to think. Like, it ain't just turning around handing the ball off. It's like, okay, what style of turn around, hand the ball off are we doing? And does this mesh with our passing game? That's why I see it's a big deal for teams that are like, that make their passes through play action, a la the LA Rams. You need a run, set up the pass, throw it deep. You know what I mean? That's how they got their passes off. But whereas our offense, we come out, line up, and start throwing. So, all right, now we want to run. Well, what we gonna run? we don't have to. We never came up with a scheme to say this is the type of running team we are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I could give them tons of suggestions, but nobody's listening to me right now.
Well, speaking of suggestions, I was just going to ask you, what do you think would be the most effective run blocking scheme or style for the Bills?
For the group of guys that they got, is I would say like a man slice. That's where you can do like back blocking, cuts, counters, power is a big one. And then you just throw your little straight ahead dive in there. It's like a little bit of man. I wouldn't mess with the zone with this group of guys.
At all.
These guys aren't a zone group, but they have that matchup, get on a guy type mentality that you want to use in if you wanted to go downhill ISO type thing, or like what you see, you block down, peel one of the linemen that kicking so he can get out there on the perimeter or something like that. So that's the type of run game I would suggest for the Bills. Definitely do not run zone with them. It's not really the men. Their man, the men that are running it. It wouldn't be ideal for those guys. These guys are. I think these guys are a lot more physical than they're given the opportunity to be.
So in that scenario with them running this scheme, would you say that is also compatible with who we have in Devin Singletary and Naeem Hines and James Cook?
Definitely. I think them dudes can come straight downhill all day. And I think what makes them good, I mean, you have Reggie Gilliam also.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of the best fullbacks in the league. I know there aren't very many, but he definitely has his effective usage in the offense. And honestly, it's a wonder to me why we don't use Reggie Gilliam more, when we have the opportunity to. But, that I guess that is a question for the offensive
the main reason is like we got so much into passing that we felt. I think the offensive coordinator is looking at the run game as like, all right, we'll throw that in, and when it really can't be that way. That run mentality, that aggression that you get in the run is all that sets up the pass. Now, you could the beauty of Buffalo Bills and Josh is you could be aggressive with the pass, but you can't forget the run. And that's and Justus, we've been talking about this all year.
Mm-hmm.
We've been saying we're happy with the passing. They pass. We're happy that we get Knox involved. We got McKenzie involved. We got, Diggs is getting his. We got a few other guys catching the ball. That ain't even a worry for us. We're not concerned. We actually happy that we can pass against anybody in the NFL. But our quandary, as people would say, is what type of running identity do we have? And Josh running the ball isn't a running identity. I don't believe that. Because I say over and over, Josh is just too valuable to have him run and injure himself when we need him to throw the ball more times than run. We need him to run away when he's in danger, but we don't need to just start him off running when he's not in danger.
That's me and Muki was talking about that in pre-production. Like I look at it like the play I hate more than anything is when Josh catches the ball in the gun, looks around, and then runs up the middle. I'm like, I'll never understand that play. It worked once like 3 years ago, and he's been calling it more ever since. I'm not completely mad at like the sweeps to the outside. We run it a little too much, but I'm not mad at it. And the option is obviously the option. I'm not mad at that. But as far as Josh is getting the football and then running it, I don't want that. Like I'd much rather him drop back the pass. If you're gonna run the ball with Josh, let it be because he decided to run the football because there was nothing else. Thank you. That's where I'm at with it.
Hands down, Justus. You are right on with that, and this is the thing. It's a coordinator thing. The O-line can't do anything about that. They can only block what the offensive coordinator calls it, and everyone knows a good running game, a good savage, you got to give it a chance. You got to keep trying to run that play. You might first couple of times you only get 2 yards. Hey, if anybody thinks about the history of Thurman Thomas, you ever play the old school? Well, I'm dating myself now, Justus.
Tecmo Bowl?
Not even the Tecmo Bowl. All of this was almost like a cheat code that everybody knew if you played with the Buffalo Bills. Everybody that played with the Buffalo Bills knew. In the first half of the game, Thurman was going to get a couple of yards, and if he got off, that just means you was really good scheming, and the opponent couldn't play. But in the second half, it was nothing you could do to stop Thurman from running. You could not. He in the second half of the Madden games and all the video games, second half, you could not stop Thurman Thomas running the ball. Go ask all the video gurus. I mean, you don't ask any video gurus. I played the game. I know. I'm telling you. We played a ton of them games. And that's the mentality that you have to have with the run game. I start out in the first quarter, I only got 1 yard. But I'm not going to stop running the play because maybe something broke down or something. I have to run that play again several more times before I can decide whether it's successful or not. Passing is different. Passing, you run it one time, see the coverage, like, not going to be able to throw into that coverage today.
Yep, right.
But run is different. It's like I'm going to keep coming back here. You're going to break soon.
And you go based on the average.
There you go.
I think this team here is a more power gap scheme team. You brought in Aaron Cromer for that fact alone. To run zone, you have to have athletes from tackle to tackle to be a zone style of a line play. Yes. We don't have that. Roger Saffold is not athletic enough to do zone. Mitch Morris is, Ryan Bates isn't, and with the injuries of Spencer Brown, I wouldn't do it. We're more of a block down, kick out team. Yes. And that's something that we're not doing. We either running zone up the gut with a little running back, and I don't know why we're doing that, or we're doing a sweep. We're not running the edges. We're not trap blocking off the edge as we should. And as far as the RPO, I don't like the Bills' RPO game because they're not pulling it and throwing it quick to a receiver at all. Right. In that RPO, it's so predictable.
And when Josh did do it, he did it at a high level, which is baffling why they don't go back to it more.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when they're in the eye because when you look at it from last year, 34% of the Bills' offense was play action last year. Right now, the Bills are like 15% play action. this year alone. And, again, it sticks out like a sore thumb. The inexperience in the offensive coordinator is definitely showing. Here it is. The Bills are on a 4-game winning streak, but the offense is on a decline. They went from 31 points to 28 points to 24 points, now 20 points. Mm-hmm. So, I had to ask Dorsey on Monday. I'm like, Coach, you're up 20-7 late in the game. Why not run the ball, especially in the elements with Cook and Singletary? And, he said, yeah, some things I would like to have back, but we trust Josh. So, okay, so you don't trust your run game. That's what you're telling me. If you trust Josh on 35
what he told you,
to try to close out a football game for you, instead of on 3rd and 5 trying to find a way to get into Stephon Diggs, or let your running back run that sweep, or just go empty and just let Josh just wait, and then take off and get the 5 yards. I'm not understanding what we're doing offensively, and it's just sticking out like a sore thumb, the inexperience in, Dorsey's offense at times where, it's lackluster, and, we should be running the football. We have comfortable leads late in the 4th, and we're still trying to throw the ball. We're going 3 and outs, because we're still running, we're still passing instead of running the ball, and I had to ask him again. I was like, well, you figure that Josh being as mobile as he is, you would have at least some design rollouts for the guy, you know what I mean, instead of having him in the pocket like a lame duck. Are you going to start doing that now? And, he said they're going to look into that. So maybe you start seeing some design rollouts for Josh instead of him just being a lame duck or a target inside the pocket, because we're throwing the ball 30, 40 times. All right. And Devin Singletary is your starting running back, and he's only touching the ball 8 times, but he still get 5 yards of carry every time he touched the ball. So I'm not understanding why he's not touching the ball more, especially in December. So it's going to be a lot of snow on the ground this week. Are we going to throw the ball all over the yard, or are we going to trust the run game? When they played New England, that's the best I've seen this Bills team play all season long. They controlled the matchup with the run game. Run game solves all problems in your offense, and Dorsey needs to believe in that. He needs to trust in that, and he needs to, like Ruben said, find the identity of this offensive line. You brought Aaron Cromer in for a reason, because he's a more smash mouth, physical approach, power gap type of guy, and we're not doing that. I don't see guys blocking down, kicking out on the edge. I have not seen that yet. We run sweeps and we run inside zone up the middle every single time, and Devin Singletary gets 1 yard when they do that. But when we get in the I formation with the fullback, man, we're solid. We're ready to roll. So it's like a box of chocolates right now with Ken Dorsey and his offense. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I think we can all confidently say that that's the truth. But I mean, so all right. So you look at the production of our wide receivers, and I think a majority of fans would say they are not satisfied with it. Obviously, with the exception of Stephon Diggs, it's been a little underwhelming everywhere else. So the Buffalo Bills go out and they bring in 2 guys who turn this offense around to begin with, and John Brown and Cole Beasley. First of all, Muki, what does that mean for the team? And does it mean anything at all?
Well, it brings those guys back that Josh is familiar with. Josh has continuity with. Josh trusts those guys. He understands where those guys going to be, where they need to be. He has a feel for those guys. So yeah, bring those guys back that made Josh Allen who Josh Allen is. And now with all those weapons, you add in McKenzie, you add in Gabe Davis. Now, possibility you throw OBJ in the mix. Let's slow this thing up for the playoffs. Now, when you go empty, it's a problem against a defense, because you can't double Diggs now. You got Beasley back, who's an underneath technician, who's going to find those necessary holes, in the defense underneath. And, that gives the offense that balance it needs in the pass game, because Josh has a problem in checking down. I'm not sure if he's really trusting the guys, in reference to that, but he trusts Cole Beasley to be there, because Cole Beasley been there for in the past 3 years. Cole Beasley had 90 catches back-to-back years. So that production has not been replaced. That production has not been replaced. So, yeah, you bring in that continuity, something the Bills covered the most, and, hopefully we should see a more comfortable Josh in the pocket now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
What about
it,
you?
hands down. You said it, Mook. It's really all about um, Josh being comfortable back there and what he's seeing, and he believes that Beasley is going to help him with that. I guess this is similar to what Brady would do with Gronkowski, so to speak. So anything to make Josh comfortable, I don't care. I don't care that I never really thought much. Like Beasley's a good player. You know, and what makes him a great player is his quarterback likes him. So if the quarterback likes you and he get the ball out there to you, he can't help but catch it. And Josh needs that right now, especially with what's transpired the last couple of weeks. We went and had the little problem with throwing interceptions and key times. Now Cole comes in, helps him get relaxed, get back to that relaxed Josh Allen that just using that gun all over the field, and everything should fall in place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's a really good thing just because you look at what I've heard on multiple occasions that Cole Beasley taught Josh Allen how to be an elite quarterback, and I don't think that that's not true. Like I believe that on some level.
Right.
Him being a veteran in the league, who's played with some pretty good quarterbacks in his own right, and was at a high level doing it, being 5'8", 10,
Yeah.
maybe being generous. 160 pounds after he got out the pool, he's still out here, being all pro. So I mean, he clearly, and it's no coincidence that Josh steadily got better, once he got Cole Beasley, and Cole Beasley had all pro season and 90 catches back to back on top of that. So I think it's a great thing. Honestly, I want him in the lineup as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because
when you look at Josh coming out of college, the knock on Josh Allen was he had this strong arm, but he wasn't accurate short to intermediate. So what the Bills go and do? You go get a short game technician, a guy that's going to be open for Josh underneath that could help that. Now, the first 2-3 years, they really wasn't throwing the deep ball too much. I mean, when Robert Foster was there, that was it. But after that, when Cole Beasley came, they really wasn't throwing the deep ball too much. They brought John Brown in, to help, to top off the defense. But that's where the balance came in. Brandon Beane recognized how to help his quarterback. He brought the necessary players in. He brought Cole Beasley in to give Josh that confidence that he can throw short and accurate. Underneath and intermediate. John Brown, the same thing. So when Josh mastered those two things, what do you go do next? You go get you a number one receiver that can run all the routes in Stephon Diggs. So now Josh is just this elite quarterback now, and that changed the dynamics of Josh's game because Josh was supposed to be an elite game manager. He wasn't supposed to be this elite passer like a Patrick Mahomes or stuff like that. When they brought in Stephon Diggs, that changed the run game. There was more of finesse and more RPO because when you look at it, when they had Shady McCoy in here and Devin Singletary was a rookie, they were more ground and pound, play action style, that way. But when Stephon Diggs came, that changed the complexity of the whole offense. Quentin Spain had got a contract, but they made him lose all that damn weight, and he lost all his leverage. He went and win.
He was on a roll too.
He was on a roll, absolutely.
He was rolling. Man.
But I mean, that actually brings us a good point to go to halftime. So I just want to let you guys know that this weekend we are going to be celebrating my man, Ruben Brown here, his Hall of Fame bid, as he has his legendary career that we all, obviously are aware of. So we're going to be celebrating him this Saturday. Make sure you guys are at the Mafia House. You guys know where the Mafia House is. It's right there next to the stadium. We're going to be there all day. We got, some drinks. We got some plants. We got some giveaways, trivia, food, whatever you can think of. We got it. And I mean, we got Bills fans. We got Bills legends. Like, what more could you ask for? And it's all in the name of this man over here. And at the the celebration, we're gonna have one of the raffle tickets. I'm sorry, not tickets. The raffle prizes that we have. We're gonna be giving those away. So Ruben, why don't you show them the prizes that they could be receiving?
Oh man,
should they win?
This is just one. This is just one. I have
That
two of
beautiful thing.
these. If you can see, hold on.
Beautiful. Stand up a little bit. Yeah, there it is.
The whole joint. Just imagine that. Now, this is the thing. You could put this on your wall, or you could put it on, on the floor. But it's so nice, man. I would hang this up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Honestly, it looked like it should go on the wall. If you ask me.
Yeah. I will hang this up. I really
I'll
would
punch somebody if they put their feet.
Yeah, I'll be on you if you
seriously.
You know what I mean?
You go wipe your feet on this beautiful carpet. Nah, I'm putting that on the wall.
So it better be a sexy girl with no shoes on stepping on it before.
Well, I'm cool with that. Yeah,
that's not the only thing.
Some grapes by the fireplace or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and we got a couple other little knickknacks that we're gonna give away. But awesome. That's the main one. Though we got two of these rugs. We're gonna auction them off. Thanks to our guys at Brooklyn Rug Burners. You can check them out on Instagram at Rug Burners official. IG at Rug Burners official. Or just go to rugburners.com. It's on there. And you could actually purchase yourself one of these. I don't know if it'll get to you for Christmas because these are custom made. So it'll take them a few minutes to make them. But order yourself one. I mean, these are must have, man. These are super fly. And a cool ass dude made them. My man Adam from Lords of Brooklyn, he's making these for Everlast, Busta Rhymes, Run DMC, you name it. He done made them for everybody. We lucky, man. We in the clique. Getting the mafia's down with cats like Everlast, Run DMC, Busta. All of these cats are getting rugs by my man Adam from Lords of Brooklyn. So we in the cool crew.
And it's nice and thick too. The texture of that thing is nice and thick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you, I'm gonna show you something, and he pointed this out to me. Whereas, you know how some rugs and things they don't have that edge sewn together. This is player, man. See how that edge?
That's clean.
That lining,
right?
See all of that is sewn in there. He went all out. This is his business. This is what he do. And he's shipping these things all over the world, man. So they're gonna open a shop up in Japan and stuff. So we could be a part of this by, he loves the fact that the Bills Mafia is crazy and stuff like that. He's happy to do this. So go order yourself one, man. Get a guy some business, and plus he got fly stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna be giving them out Saturday, at the tailgate. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you're on deck at the Mafia House. It's gonna be some epic. It's gonna be a great vibe, good time. Make sure you're there early. Come early to avoid disappointment and your chance to win a couple of these rugs.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So we just spoke about the celebration we're gonna have. Man, Muki is gonna be there, of course. So it's going to be a very fun day. You guys do not want to miss it, especially if you've been to a Bills Mafia tailgate before. This is about to be live. It just is. This is how we do with Bills Mafia. All right. So next up, speaking of this Saturday, right, we have another division game, the final of the 3 division games in a row. We have the New England Patriots the Miami Dolphins coming to town. And they just came off of 2 absolutely terrible losses. They lost badly to the 49ers, and they lost pretty badly to the Chargers as well. Did not look good. Offense didn't look good. Defense didn't really look good. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Miami was, super confident. Oh, we want the Bills. Oh, they making fun of Stephon Diggs and all this other crazy stuff. And now they get 2 devastating losses. Muki, what does this mean? Like, do you think that they're going to come out more hungry, or do you think they just dead fish in the water at this point?
I mean, they're going to come out more hungry, rightfully so. But as of late, they are dead fish in the water because teams got book on them now. And I think that the Bills had the antidote first with Kyer Elam. When you look at San Fran, when you look at the Chargers on how they played Tyreek Hill, they played corners. They played more press man on Tyreek. They didn't play off of him. They played more man press. And, they sent heat on Tua. And I think that was the Bills. But Bills did that week 3 with Kyer Elam because here's a guy, he's big, he's physical, and he can run with the cheetah. He runs a 4.3. So, he held Tyreek Hill to 2 catches and 33 yards that first game. Nobody's talking about that still. So, and, they did apply pressure. You can corral Tua, keep him in the pocket, and, he's not a tall guy. So when you cut his passing lanes off, he has no choice but to, try to force the ball somewhere he doesn't, or, he's going to get sacked. So the Bills need to be, aggressive, especially on third downs too. I mean, when they played the Jets, they were aggressive on first and second down. They played defense so good just to give it up on third down. I'm quite sure that Leslie Frazier is going to, dial it up on a few third and long situations, because that's the scheme. They rely on the 4-man pressure, and, you got to have 7 guys back there to tackle when the quarterback throws short. But the Bills need to force the action a little bit on third down because you don't have the closer in Von Miller. We do get pressure good enough, but let's make sure we get pressure on the quarterback on third down, because I didn't like the fact that they did let a hurting Mike White just sit back in the pocket on third down and convert thirds and 15s, thirds and 12s. This guy out here with partially broke ribs, and we're not applying any pressure on third down. I didn't have no understanding to that. And, the Bills are going to have to do things that they normally don't do within their scheme to, get off the field on third down. So I think the Bills continue that recipe. This is the revenge tour, and the revenge tour start right here with Miami. The Bills need this game. It's a must-win for them to get back on top of the division. They're already top in the conference, but this put them in the driver's seat for the division as well. And this is a game I'm quite sure that Coach McDermott is not going to take lightly. He's going to, make sure that these guys are playing fast and physical on both sides of the ball.
Looking at the first game, they essentially blew out. I mean, they blew out the Dolphins in every way except the scoreboard. Dolphins are looking bad. Tua's not looking good the last 2 weeks. The Bills are on a 4-game winning streak. The Miami Dolphins, who needed heaters in LA, allegedly, are coming to 20-degree Buffalo. I mean, is this like a really bad loss if the Bills were to give this one up, Ruben?
Oh, yeah. Totally, it's a huge loss if the Bills give this up. It's no time to lose against any division opponent right now. There's no room for error. That time has passed. Oh, by the way, they already gave the loss that they could afford to give, and now there's no room. So any loss from here on out is a bad loss.
I just hope they don't throw the ball 63 times like they did the first game. 63
times. Hopefully a dick get them to
100-degree weather too.
Yeah, come on, run that rock, man.
Right. See, Ruben, you probably would have been kicked off the team by now because you probably would have been cussing Dorsey out. Right? You're not running the football.
Yeah.
You've been fine. You've been in the trailer.
Yeah. Everybody in the boardroom scratching and like, how do we get rid of our Pro Bowl left guard?
What excuse can we make?
How do we get rid of him? He ain't making it easy on us at all. Right? When you fucking up, you need to be told. Shoot, somebody they tell me when I'm messing up. Yeah, man, this would be a horrible loss for the Bills. if they did take a loss, but I think everything's shaping up for them to really dominate. Honestly, I'm saying dominate this go around.
All right, that actually leads me into my next question for you guys before we get into the kneel down. When you take a look at the Bills and what they have left for the remainder of their season, what do you want to see from the Bills in these last few games that'll make you comfortable with where we are headed into the playoffs, Muki?
I want to see more balance, and I want to see the Bills aggressive. This is towards the end of the season. You got to start gearing yourself for the playoffs. You got to start gearing that mentality for the playoffs. And that mentality needs to be a more balanced attack. You can't be too predictable offensively going late in the season, heading into postseason. And you must be aggressive on defense. The recipe to Super Bowls is a sound run game and great defense. We need to inherit that. At some capacity, we need to inherit that. We can't be, we make ourselves one dimensional, and it's easy for a team to scheme at that. So Dorsey needs to be more creative in his offensive scheme. He needs to create more balance with the run game to help the passing game. And on the flip side, the defense need to be more aggressive. We need more run blitzing. We cannot be with our backs up against the wall inside the red zone, and we're not blitzing. You see Zazanovic Knight just run so easy off the edge and score because we're not run blitzing. What are we doing? Why are we playing so soft inside the red zone? We're not sending a linebacker. But when he do send a linebacker, the Bills are one of the best defenses in the NFL. I hope you realize that and recognize that and just keep dialing it up more often than not, because that's going to keep teams off their toes, because analytically, the Bills play 75% with a soft box, and teams take advantage of Coach Frazier's screen because he doesn't get out of that. He doesn't waver from that. And sometimes, that comes a disadvantage when you think it's an advantage in your scheme.
Ruben, what about you? What would make you comfortable from the Bills? What do you need to see from the Bills that would make you comfortable going into the playoffs?
Well, honestly, I think I'd be comfortable with the type of game they just finished playing. One where they just command the time of possession and they control the tempo of the game. And if they can impose their will on it, right now we're asking them to do some running stuff, but maybe they don't have enough yet. But whatever they do, whatever plays they call, just be ahead of the chain, be commanding, be commanding of the game. Command the game, be in charge of the game from beginning to end, and that would make me feel like they're on the right track.
All right, fair enough. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into kneel downs. I don't know what happened to
Muki. Everybody locking up tonight. What kind of service Muki got?
I don't know, but it looked like he just saw something.
Like somebody walked in or something,
or he saw some type of news on his phone. We might be getting some breaking news soon.
All
right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with, of course, the Hall of Famer, Ruben Brown. Ruben's rundown. What's on your mind tonight, Rube?
Well, this is the time of season where Ruben's theme is run the ball in order to win. And going forward, the Bills have to make a really concerted effort to establishing that for the playoff run. It's definitely needed. It's an aspect of the game that opponents know that the Bills haven't committed too much to it. So I think that's a way for the Bills to kind of get an edge on their opponents, actually, is to focus in on what we can do to have some type of consistent run attack opposed to Josh attack. We need a real run attack where our running backs are more than capable. I hate getting on the air and trying to defend our running backs. The offensive coordinator and the general manager, the head coach know that the running backs are good enough for us. They wouldn't be on the team. And I think they need to be given the opportunity to do so. And the last thing that I like to run down on is our defensive line. There's a lot of pressure, I would say, right now on Russo, but it seems from what I saw, he's up to the challenge. He's up to the challenge to know that since Vaughn isn't there anymore, he's one of the key components in that line that's going to get the pressure. I think he saw this week. He came out and also against the Patriots. He was dominant. And we need to see more dominance or consistency of that. I mean, he's been playing great all year. I mean, but really, we're in the hunt now, and he has to go and get it and be that top pick that we brought him in here to be. You know, I've never been a fan of Miami players, but I'm a fan of his. So he's won me over when I never before liked any Miami players other than Jim Kelly.
You don't like the U? What? I mean,
I can't say too much because
I gotta take that off camera.
I love Russo. I love Jim Kelly. I can't talk nothing about their university. You get me talking about their university, bad things come out of my mouth. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, we definitely don't want you getting in trouble, so we're gonna leave it at that. All right, and since Coach is not here, I'm just gonna go ahead with my general rule. I want to take this time to celebrate you, man. I think that it's so dope that I get to podcast with the great Ruben Brown. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, my dad made me watch Bills games, and you know, eventually I got into it. And you know, Ruben Brown, you know what I mean? He was on TV. He was our offensive lineman. Like, you know, he was our star offensive lineman as well. Like, you know, it's so cool to, you know, and then you came on a podcast, and it was cool to just be able to talk to you. And now we've gotten to work and get to know each other. And like, you've taught me a ton. You know, I really appreciate just who you are, and you know how you know well you treated me since we started working together, man. You're awesome. You know, you're an inspiration. You know, it's really dope that I get to work with Ruben Brown, and I'm excited to celebrate you this weekend. I just wanted to let you know, man, I love you. I thank you, you know, for everything that you've done for me, man.
Awesome. Hey, the feelings mutual, Justus, man. I've been learning from you, you know, and I have to take this opportunity, since you praised me so much, I return it back to you, because I believe that you're an awesome talent, and this meeting, what you're doing right now here is only the beginning. I can see a lot of great things in the future from you, and I enjoy doing it with you. Honestly, it's been natural. Like since we started, it's just been natural. So
it's very natural.
Thank you, Justus. I love you too, man. One love all day, every day. You know, you my homie and always will be. And I really enjoy doing this with you, you know.
Absolutely.
And we enjoy Muki too when he's around.
Yeah, Muki. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I appreciate it.
One love, man, you know, and we're going to keep doing it. I'm excited about coming out and meeting all the fans.
Sure, absolutely.
And, you know, it's number one, it's a Bills game, so it's a reason to party, you know. And I'm happy that everybody's gonna be, you know, showing me some love and stuff like that. And I appreciate it, man. I don't even really know how to respond other than
you good, man.
You know what?
I wasn't really looking for a response, just because, like, you know, it was sincere. I really meant that, and I'm excited about you know meeting you this weekend as well. So we definitely gonna have a great time. You know, listen, y'all better be there or be square, man. This is a celebration. It's gonna be a party.
Come on, man. You better come early, because I might smoke up all the weed.
Weed bite up. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. we will see you guys probably after the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
We might, do a little something since we all gonna be there anyway. But yeah, I mean, since my man Muki not here to say it, do you believe? All right, go Bills.
One.
Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first to market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.